Hey everyone, in this video we're gonna have a look on a game that I have been working on, and I have decided to upload every video for every feature that I will implement for this game, right? So this video is all about the first look on this game, and I want to show you something that how we can implement this, and also I will be waiting for from your side some kind of ideas that you will give me so that we can implement all those things into this game to make this a better game, right? So currently I have implemented a lot of features. If you look at the source code, these are the scripts, and this is the enemy script, and this is the entire game, and we have the gun and interfaces, levels, menu system, player, pointable, power up. This power up is not usable now, but now I am starting this game again after 1 year, so this power up system is not very good. So I will just deprecate it and implement new power up system, and when I implement this power up system, so I will upload a video while coding this power up, right? We will also do some designs of how we can do that. So I will also require some ideas from your side so that we can implement a very good power up system. And we have the rope, and if you look at the tools, these are the all tools that are created by me. And this is here what we have, the touch system, and this is a very good touch system. And if you haven't already watched the video about this touch system, you can check out the link given in the description, or you can click on the top right corner of your screen. And there is something called the standard animation. This is the tool created by me, and it is very useful when you want to do some animation stuff without using the Unity animation system, right? And we have this Sprite Animation script, and this is kind of Unity animation, but it is very simplified, right? It is just for the sprite animation, and it has very good features also. And we have the in-game logger. So what is the in-game logger is, if you look at that, if you enter into the play mode, you can see that we have two buttons. If you click on this logs button, it will open some tabs. If you click on the gameplay and input and miss, and every logs which will be related with this gameplay will be shown here. Like we have the log, the directory of, that means application.persistent directory. For example, I have logged the application.persistent directory in the Windows machine. So this is how the gameplay logging work. And if you want to see that, let's jump into the player.cs code. Okay, for example, in the update method, when I press, like when input.get key down, let's say key code dot space, and then log log manager dot log, like pressed space button. Okay, and we can also pass the log system. That means we want to put this into gameplay or input or miss. So let's do that into input. Okay, now let's jump into the play mode. Okay, I don't know what this kind of errors is. The same field name is serialized multiple times. I don't know. Let's clear this. Now let's press play. Okay, now let's go into the input. Okay, now if I hit play button, then you can see that it is logging, which is the pressed space button. And this is very useful when you are working in the Android kind of system, right, where the text-based logging, that means you can't access the debug.log kind of things, right? Actually, there are ways to indirect the debug.log output to a certain text file, right? But that was not flexible. This kind of in-game logger is very useful when you are working with highly complicated games. But in future, I will implement something 3D games. So that is why I have created all the tools while working on this game, right? So I will highly recommend when you work on a game, try to implement all the tools if possible, because it will save a huge lot of time while debugging your code, right? So this was the log manager, and if you put here the like the gameplay and log error, then again go into the play mode, okay. Now if you go to the now let's hit on the gameplay. Now if I press space button, then you can see that in the red we have the pressed space button, okay. So this is how this log manager works, okay. Now let's see the player code. So we have just the player core, we have a script which we call the player core, and it is an abstract class, and this is the core. That means it is related to just the core of the player, right? Not just the how the player will be killed, something like that. It doesn't implement all of these things, right? So this is not also damageable. The actual player that we are playing with is the player.cs, and this is derived from the player core. That means which provides the ability to move this player, right? This is also an abstract class, right? So this player is again alivable. That means it can be instantiated again when it is killed, and if it has the life count greater than 0, right? And it is damageable. That means the enemies can damage it, and it is killable. That means this player can be killed, right? And we have the IBindable. That means this can be binded with other objects. That means the triangle player can be binded with other objects also, okay. So if you look at the game, if you go into the play mode, if I go to here, and you can see that there is a pointer. When I approach this player, there is a pointer of white color. So when I press on this enemy, a rope instantiated, and it binded with that, okay. It binded with the enemy, okay. And now you can see that there is a pointer when I approach to the enemies, right? Or something kind of object which is bindable, right? So if I press on this, then you can see that it is get binded, and you can move it around this level, okay. So what's the concept of this game is that we must have to bind each of this enemy and put it on the dustbin, right? This is very weird kind of thing, but I don't think something extra can be implemented. We should have to bind all these enemies and then kill them and put it on the dustbin like this one. Yeah. Oh my god. Ha. So I have disposed it into the dustbin. I can see that again. We should have to do that like this. Yeah. There is an error, and I don't know where this is coming from, but soon I will debug it, right? So in the next video I will do that. And till now I have created just the 2 levels for this game. Like this one, I have created this level today, and you can put enemies in this level also. Like I have the prefabs. Yeah, this is here. Okay, there is some scripts missing, so let's remove that. Okay, so let's go to, okay, now we have the enemy. I have just one enemy, and I have implemented the enemy based class EnemyCore, which is called the EnemyCore.cs, and every enemy which is enemy can be derived from this EnemyCore. Like I have enemy.cs, like this one. I have this EnemyCore IDamageable disposable. That means it can be disposed into the dustbin, and IDamageable, and it can be damaged by any other obstacle. And we have IBindable, that means can be binded with the rope. And IPointable, that means a pointer can be shown above this object. IKillable, it is killable, right? So this is how I have structured the core. If you go into the play mode, you can see that we have a very nice level, right? Now let's put some enemies into this level. So how we can do that? Let's do that. We have this here. This is, we have the enemy. Now let's duplicate it. Okay, now let's again duplicate it. Now again duplicate it. Again. Again. So this is pretty much. And now put a dustbin. So where is the dustbin? So this is here. Now let's put something here, and we'll put 2 dustbins. Yeah, let's 3. Okay. So let's go into the play mode. Okay, now you can see that the pointers are looking good, and they are also showing above the dustbin. And again, I will remind you that the pointers are the sign of bindable entities. That means we can bind them. Okay, in future we will also add more entities in this game to look this game more playable and more interesting, right? For now, just play this, and what you have to do is to just click on this enemy to bind it with that. Now let's hit them out. You can see that it is hitted, and there will be a threshold value when it gets killed, right? So we can adjust also into the level data, but for now, to kill them, we will use a cheat keyword. Cheat, we are using cheats because in development of the game, it is very difficult to play the game, right, to achieve the certain level. So we will just use the cheat codes, and this is the cheat code I have implemented. So I will just click on this kill all enemies, right? Yeah, now you can see that we have killed, and our score gets 166. And we can also do that with the help of keyboard input, like 0 player health. You can see that we have killed our player by doing a 0 player health cheat code. Or we can also bind all these enemies like this. Click on this, and then click on this, click on this. Okay, now we are binding those things again. Okay, so something there is some bugs already there, so we will fix in the next video. But for now, we are just destroying all of these enemies to get the you win sign. Okay, now let's bind all these enemies. Yeah, and again in this dustbin, I can see that you have win. Okay, so this is pretty much for this video, and in the next video we will try to figure out some of the bugs that we have seen in this video. And also we will try to implement the power-up system, and this will be new power-up system that we're gonna implement for this game. So thanks for watching, and I will meet you in the next video.